Magandang araw po sa lahat. Good evening and good afternoon doon sa iba't ibang parte ng mundo po na may mga kasama po tayo na regular na nagsusubaybay at marami pang nadadagdag tuwing ating palabas ng ating ang maestro at iba pa sa RP1 and of course sa Facebook and sa YouTube. Good morning, Maestra Ana and Kado. Kamusta ang umaga po ninyo? Yung umaga ko, napakahirap po dahil meron akong 5 pink shirts na iba-ibang level ng pagka-pink and hanap naman ako ng yellow. Yung ibang yellow parang pink ang dating, hindi ko naman masuot. Saka medyo luma na kasi hindi na ako nag-yellow for ilang dekada na. So nagpula na naman ako. So kayo naman, Maestra Ana, how was your morning and how has your week been?
So far naman po, okay naman po ang morning ko. Medyo piyat-piyat ng konti, pero I'm okay. Katulad sa inyo, parang lagi akong aligaga na, oops, sandali, ano ba ang kulay ng damit? Ito naman po ay red, hindi siya pink. Pero nung una ko nakita, sabi ko, naku, baka ito'y may pagka-pink. Naku, patay tayo dyan. So, hindi naman. Okay naman. Ang weekend, I wrote my article po. And then, I submitted to ASEAN Post my article, and I think it's more about local politics. And I'm writing right now a series of the Duterte legacies, just for people to understand why Duterte is so popular, and at the same time, kung ano ba talaga ang mga achievements ng administration na to, and why is it yun na yung clamor is continuity, no? Bakit ganon? So, that was a first part of my article na mamaya po lalabas ng 6 p.m. po. So yun, it would be a series. Just for kasi ang mainstream media po hindi naman nagre-report ng accomplishments ng administration.
Okay. Kado, how about you?
Oh, good morning. Eto, asul na asul.
Oo nga.
Asul din ang background ko. So, naghahanap ako ng asul na kandidato. Wala naman.
Di ba si BBM asul at saka pula?
Yes.
Pink yan, pink. Si BBM ang original na pink.
Anyway.
2 years ago pa, 3 years ago pa, pink na yan. Ang ginagawa ko nga doon sa isang community Facebook page, Facebook na minamanage ko. Inuulit ko yung yung mga blogs ni Bongbong Marcos, no? Kasi wala na akong duda eh. In fact, nagre-research na naman ako at tatapusin ko yung ibang libro ko. Gusto ko na pahinga muna sa politika dahil one-way expressway na ito. Sabi ko nga doon sa isang response ko kanina sa Facebook, tapos na ito, eleksyon na ito. Even a bong ticket, no? It's already winnable na. Kailang ikot na 5 taon na umiikot si Bongbong, si Bongo. At 3 taon na rin umiikot si Bongbong. Itong mga wannabes, nagsisimula pa lang lumabas ang mga kwadra nila.
Saka nag-aagawan pa ng ng corona. Inaagawan ni Iskomunista si Lenny ng corona ng opposition candidate, di ba?
Nagagawan sila kung sino pinaka-tuta ng Amerikano sa kanila. At pasalamat nga ako kanina dito sa Facebook page ni Benjon Amora.
Ano sabi?
Pasalamat ako. Nagpasalamat lang ako. Sabi ko, maraming salamat sa inyo. At pasalamat ako kay Lacson dahil malapit na siya mag-retire para sumama doon sa cement business ng anak niya. At si Pacquiao naman, lalaban pa ito dahil mauubos ang pera ni Coco Pimentel at saka Ron Monsayak paghahatian lang ni Ron Monsayak at saka ni Coco Pimentel, dinubola nila tumakbo ito.
Okay.
Ito naman si Leni Robredo, ay wala na tayong pag-uusapan dito. She will be the laughing stock. Siya ang pumalit kay Noynoy Aquino bilang village idiot. At she will forever be the laughing stock of social media.
Yeah.
At
Okay.
ako naman, si Isko matatalo din yan. But Isko will be laughing all the way to the bank. Ito naman si Bato, alam naman natin, mag-giveaway din yan kay Bongbong Marcos. So tapos na ito, eleksyon na ito.
Okay, si Lucy Tasno, sabi, nakapula ka na, Maestro Kamentong. Yes, so I had to choose my usual red para ma-resolve. But mamaya po, mamimili ako siguro ng dalawang dilaw na shirt na para mas madali nang pumili pagka may mga programa tayo. Okay, tungkol dyan sa kulay ng mga kandidato, ito po ang level na napupuntahan nitong mga grupo ni Lenny, itong image na inihanda ko. At kilala ba ninyo ito, si Maxine Magalona ba to, maestra? Yan po,
oo, actress yan.
Naka-lingering pink. At let us lead by example by taking responsibility. Blah, blah, blah. God will let Lenny lead now. Pero yun, ang kanilang campaign image. Si Maxine Magalona na naka-lingerie na pink. Yan. Yan ang
Hindi
level
ko
na.
Oo. Hindi
Sige,
ko
sige.
maintindihan why do you why is it na nakaganyan siya Parang ano ang ibig mo sabihin?
Well,
Porque nakaganyan ka buboto na yung mga tao sa niyo
Yan ang tingin nila sa botante. Yan ang tingin nila. Kaya nga, hindi naman naiba yung mga ginagawa ni Angel Locsin, ni sino ba yung Richard Gomez, mga nagpapaganda na naghahayag ng sarili nila na para dito sa kandidatong ito. Pero actually, alam natin ayan po. Mababaw ang tingin nila sa katalinuhan ng botante. Ayan lang. Sabi nitong si Delma Amparo Cantor, kahit buong katawan ninyo pintahan ng kulay lila, lilawan pa din kulay ninyo. Hindi ko alam yung lilawan. Anong lilawan?
Dilawan is yellow.
Nagkamali lang siguro ang spelling. L kasi ang nilagay niya. Ayun. Well, anyway, reactions, if any, while I move on to the next report. Of course, hindi lang po si Magalona, whatever her first name is, si Socrates Villegas, pumapel din dito sa pink discussion. Ayun, yung kanyang COSAC, yung kanyang vestment or whatever it's called, pink din daw. At nakikita ko ngayon yung kanyang mga, naalala ko tuloy yung latest, October 5 lang na balita mula sa Frances. Ito, inulat ng BBC, French church abuse. Sa investigasyon ng mga French, 216,000 children were victims of clergy abuse, child abuse, mga pedophile na mga pare. I wonder, dito sa Pilipinas, meron na bang investigasyon? Anyway, anyway, sino ba itong nagpadala nito? Anyway, so tuloy po tayo. And of course, one of the big news today, this week, and of course, a downer for our colleagues like Peter Tiu Lavinia, yung hindi pa pag-file po for the presidency ni Sara Duterte. Instead, si Bato ang nag-file. Substitution speculation floats as Bato de la Rosa files COC for president under the PDP laman while wearing the pugpong ng pagbabago shirt. Pero, so there are three items on the table, but this last item, I will ask you both. Ano ba talaga ang tingin niyo dito? sa plano ni Sara. Hindi na. Kasi kung siya ay magbago pa ng isip sa November 15 ba yun, ano? Parang hindi na maganda sa kanya ang magiging impact. What do you think?
Sa akin kasi feeling ko talaga si Sarah, well, I mean, like other DDS, siguro may mga gusto talagang hope pa rin sila na tatakbo nga si Madam Sara Duterte. Pero I don't think ganun si Sarah ang klaseng tao eh. Yung individual na character ng isang tao kasi matters as well eh. Sa politika. I don't think she's like that kind of person na parang last minute choice or last minute magde-decide. Hindi siya ganun eh. So I'm not sure. We don't know until
So,
November 15.
sa iyo, 99% hindi na siya magpa-file ng pagka-presidente.
Feeling ko hindi siya magpapa-substitute. Feeling ko firm ata siya doon sa pagiging na gusto niyang mag-mayor sa last term niya. At saka parang may naririnig din ako na there are certain things na hindi niya ata gusto or
Yeah.
oo, yung mga ganon.
Doon sa pusi faction ng PDP laban.
Oo, there are certain, I think, na mga siguro mga discussion na I don't think she agrees or something to that effect. I really don't know. Hindi naman ako insider eh.
Yeah.
Pero I think, ang ano lang kay Sarah kasi, Sarah is not the kind of politician who na nalalaruin niya yung mga, hindi siya ganun eh. Very straightforward yan eh. At saka independent-minded. Saka, hindi yan yung tipong bara-bara. Lahat ata ng ginagawa niya, pinaplano niya. Lahat ng inaano niya. Kung anong sinabi niya, pinangatawanan niya. Ganon ang character ni Sarah eh.
Yeah. By the way, si Kaado, meron natang naisipakita, ano? Kasi I also saw it yesterday, namili ng mga yellow shirts ata si
pinost ko yan sa akin.
So, yung nasa isip niya, nasa isip ko rin, mamaya, mamimili ako ng yellow shirts. Kaado, you were going to comment on that.
Super dilaw na ito si Digong. Nahuli na naman kayo. Naagawan kayo ng kulay.
Nang aasal ang presidente.
Tinday, ang hunch ko talaga from the very beginning. Hindi tatakbo kasi ang dami niyang unfinished business sa Davao. Pero siyempre, yung mga karamihan is attracted to her running for office. But the best career path for Sara is to run for Senate in 2025, and from there build a track record dahil galing na siya sa local government. Dito naman sa Senado makakaroon siya ng a good education on legislation. Now, why Senate, not the House? Well, kasi kailangan may isa pang konyo kid o di kaya dilawan na matanggal dyan sa Senate. Marami mga inkompetente dyan eh. So, kailangan Senate ang takbuhan.
Bagay, maganda rin itong mga nabubuksang mga bagong horizon dito sa lumalabas na kombinasyon para sa halalan na to na ating mas kinagigiliwan tulad ni BBM Bongo. Ano? And I agree with Kaado, Bongo is a hard worker, so hindi siya charismatic. Ano, yung buhok niya, ayaw ko nga, yung suklay niya na parang 1930s, 1920s. No? Yung mga ganyan. No? But talagang nagtrabaho siya all these years, tayo ng mga malasakit centers and so on. I don't know the impact sa mga taong na-meet na niya sa local government officials. May impact yan, no? Which we do not see and maybe the surveys will not see. So, and tama si Kaado, maganda yung development path kung magsenado si Sara. So we extend the Duterte legacy from the Bongbong next administration.
Preparation, no?
And then to another 6 years after that, or if parliamentary, at least indefinitely ma-extend yan. Kasi it takes one generation at least to change a nation. Anyway.
Pero I don't think Sara is interested for the Senate. Kasi nakinig ako sa interview kay Bruce Rivera, Attorney Bruce. And Attorney Bruce is very close to Sara. I think what she really likes is being an executive kasi yun yung training niya. Pero I don't think as well that she will run really this 2022 for higher post. Yung ano talaga niya is to finish her third term. Pangatlong term na sunod-sunod. Yung iba kasi nalilito, tatlong term na daw. Sa no. At pangatlong term niya na sunod-sunod. Kasi kapag after 3, pwede ka pang isang term hindi ka tumakbo, pwede kang tumakbo the next 3 after 1 term, no? Ganun yun. Yung pinaka-last na term niya is ngayon na sunod-sunod yun from the first term niya. So yun. Siguro may sarili siyang reasons, and probably she knows herself, no? At saka she's still young. Whatever happens in the future, she still have the chance to be president of this country by 2028. She's still very young, no? She's only around 43, I think. So I am not really worried if she will not run for president, because we need her probably in the next administration, let us say after BBM, if BBM wins, no? So
Well,
By the way, na-COVID si Sarah at saka si Pulong.
kailan yan? Just
Last
recently.
Ngayon
Na-announce
kahapon.
Yun ang na-anunsyo kahapon.
Opo, kagabi na Madam Sara is in isolation right now, na COVID siya. Pero sa awan ng Diyos, okay naman, mild symptoms lang. So we wish na gumaling po at get well soon, Madam Sara. We'll pray for you.
Speaking of COVID, well, nagpaalam na ulit din ang isang dilawan, si Chito Gascon, ano?
Opo.
And I'll refrain from any cynical remarks, but ang inaalala ko, baka si De Lima susunod kasi ang payat na ni De Lima. Ni Laila, di ba?
Nakita ko yung photo niya. Opo, medyo pumayat siya. Oo.
Kasi
I don't know if it's good for her or it's really not good. Kasi medyo mataba siya noon eh.
Well, si Dinky Soliman din talagang roly-poly si Dinky Soliman, biglang pumayat. At nagpaalam na. Ganyan din si Noynoy. Ang dami sa kanila na
Si Chito, talagang may comorbidity na yan. Very bad case of diabetes. Remember, nung makita natin siya sa Siang, meron pa siyang tungkod and all that.
May tungkod na siya.
So, anyway, sabi ko nga sa Facebook ko, bon voyage, my friend Chito. Of course, this is nothing compared to the happy times when you came to Washington, D.C. to attend training with the National Democratic Institute. It was sad that even during Noynoy's time, all they can give you was the back end of the stick in charge of a hard post. Your great ideas could have made local government sizzle, as the masses do not yet know their true opportunities under a democracy. I hate to see you go at a time when Leni Robredo is abandoning ship with Kiko Pangilinan in tow. This is the Liberal Party you literally rebuilt from scratch, from the Rojases with the Ayalas and their foreign friends. Of course, our politics are different, for I always put national security over democratic license, because I believe in Ramon Magsaysay's, he who has less in life should have more in law. I'm really right of center. But the Liberal Party, sabi ko, kapento, that stands for democratic liberalism cannot just die in the hands of politicians whose greed to mere winning elections remain unmitigated and insatiable. Worse, the community has been able to steal its rightful place in society. Sino na ngayon magre-recover niyan now that you've got?
Well, anyway, that's quite a lengthy elegy. And I think sabi dito ni Mazen Romeo, hayaan nyo na yan, Kaado at Kamentong. Tatagal na naman po nila buhay. So, although your elegy or whatever you call it, eulogy, contains a lot of gems of wisdom.
No, but because Kamentong, I was inviting him into a conversation on democratic socialism, and he wanted to know about it.
Yeah, well, let's. I don't want to spend too much time on a hypocrite, on an intellectual, puny intellectual character who, was just propped up like Maria Ressa by Western civilization. So I know him very well from Ateneo pa. Mga huwad yan, mga mabababaw yan, mga nag-enjoy sila ng poder na binigay ng mga Jesuita at nila Cory Aquino sa mga yan. Ano? Mga oportunista yan, mga nagsamantala yan. Pero tinago nila yung pagsasamantala nila sa pagbobobo-bobo nila. Well, there were other and many other people who sacrificed a lot because they were true to the reality, to the facts of life and the highest principles of morality. And I don't think these yellow people who have shared in the power and the glory and the money deserve too much. Oh, Chito Gascon, I don't believe he's anything great at all to spend time eulogizing. No? Neither sa kay Dinky Soliman. Pasensya na, lumabas ang galit ko dito sa mga. Okay, well, I think let's go to somebody who is more deserving. Who is this? BBM. Sabi ni BBM, which is music to my heart yung kanyang sinabi. October 9 po ito inulat ng Manila Bulletin. Too much politics due to term limits hinder economic growth. Meaning, sobrang maiksi ang mga terms and so on. At saka, hindi pwedeng tumakbo ulit kung meron kang presidenteng mahusay. So, you know. But in general, I've been saying this, di ba? Mag-parliamentary na tayo para mabawasan isang level ng halalan yung mga senador, ano? And maybe tulad nung panahon ni Marcos for a while, and I don't know if Kaado remembers that, but in many ASEAN countries, this is the case. Walang local election, walang barangay election, appointed yung mga yan at that level, or maybe even higher level, district level. And of course, we know, in Vietnam, in China, walang election higher than the district level. Ano? Tapos after the district level, selection na. Ano? And so, we really have to think about this, and mabuti si BBM napapag-isipan niya. And I hope this is a sign that if he becomes president, he will initiate the moves towards parliamentary system, no? The parliamentary system. So yan po, I wanted to input that. And then mainit na diskusyon na tayo doon sa Maria Ressa Peace Prize. Ano? Well, anyway, dito muna sa point ni BBM, Kaado and Maestra Ana.
Ako, talaga ako, ever since, hindi pa man nagkakaroon ng election, matagal na, I mean, yung mga kaibigan ko, we're all, gusto talaga na baguhin, no? Magkaroon ng mga changes sa political system natin, especially kasi nga, unang-una, hindi naman talaga sa atin yan copycat yan ng American system and even the Constitution, yung 1987 Constitution, I think, is more or less a copycat as well ng US, no? Consti or even the system itself. So I think it's a high time na magkaroon tayo ng changes sa ating political system na aakma sa bayan natin at to certain extent magsusolve dun sa mga political problems na meron tayo, like masyadong personality-based ang politika natin. Hindi dapat ganun dapat mas more platform-based, no? Tinitignan natin yung platforms rather than ng persona. So, paano natin mabago yan? Hindi mo mabago yan without changing the system itself. Like, kung lilipat ka pang presidential to parliament, mababago yan. Kasi sa parliament, ang mas tinitignan is yung plataforma ng mga partido. So, isa yan. Importante yan. Saka marami pang provisions, no? Even for me, like ang qualifications ng mga tumatakbo, I think it's really important to indicate na hindi lang read and write and 40 years old, pwede ka na, medyo medyo too liberal for me, no? It's okay to be liberal, but that's too much of being liberal, no? So may mga ganon. I am for it. Actually, matagal na. So, pero of course, maraming tao dito sa Pilipinas ang ayaw niyan. Ang opposition ayaw nilang baguhin. So,
yeah,
it's
anyway,
really a political will on the next president. Kailangan ng strong political will on the next president natin na mapush yan.
Okay, it's 8:29. We have, it's 8:30 now. We'll take our break, then we'll go to Kaado.
Opo.
Back to you, RP1.
Ang pamamaraan ng mga lokal na pamahalaan para COVID vaccine ay maibigay sa bawat mamamayan. Narito ang pahayag ni Barcelona Sorsogon Mayor Cynthia Falcotelo Fortes.
Breaking
I have been doing my share of persuading itong ating target population. Nasa iwas po kasi yung hesitancy. Kaya umiikot po tayo at practically we are motivating and incentivizing these people para po magpapakuna sila.
Maging protektado. Magpabakuna tayong lahat. Isang mensahe mula sa Radyo Pilipinas.
Totoo bang effective ang VCO o virgin coconut oil sa COVID-19? Ako na ang magsasabi sa iyo. Effective! Ito si Cabsec Carlo Nograles. Sabi ng mga eksperto sa Department of Science and Technology, mabisa ang virgin coconut oil o VCO para mas mabilis na gumaling at pigilan ang paglala ng COVID-19. Mura na, effective pa. Sigurado dahil gawang Pinoy. Cabsec Carlo Nograles, nagpapaalalang kailangan natin magtulungan.
Mahalagang paalala, ang VCO ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
#ID natin, ang ID ng Pilipino. Gusto mo ba ng valid ID na libre, digital at pwedeng gamitin for life? Kung oo, ang PhilID ay para sa iyo. Magparehistro na ngayon sa PhilSys o Philippine Identification System. Para simulan ang inyong registration, bisitahin ang PhilSys website sa register.philsys.gov.ph. #ID natin, ang ID ng Pilipino. Isang paalala mula sa PSA, PCOO at ng Philippine Broadcasting Service.
Tuloy-tuloy sa arangkada ang RES bakuna.
October, 46 million doses na po ang ating administer with 24.5 million Filipinos already received the first dose and almost 22 million are now fully vaccinated.
Supply ng COVID-19 vaccine na dumarating ay mataas din.
I'm very confident na yung 100 million doses target this October is still on track.
Kaya pag-turn nyo na, magpabakuna na. Isang mensahe mula sa Philippine Broadcasting Service at Radyo Pilipinas. Prioridad pa rin ng ating pamahalaan na unahin ang kapakanan at kaligtasan ng bawat mamamayan sa gitna ng pandemyang ating nararanasan.
Patuloy ang aming pag-udyok sa mga ospital at LGU na siguraduhin sapat ang bilang ng mga COVID-19 beds at mechanical ventilator. Siguraduhin ang referral ng mga pasyente sa tamang pasilidad base naman sa kanilang mga simptomas. Magpatupad ng mga granular lockdown upang mabilis na mahanap ang mga kaso at mga close contact upang sila ay mai-quarantine, mai-isolate at matest sa lalong madaling panahon. At panghuli, panatilihin ang mahigpit na pagsunod sa ating minimum public health standards at palakasin ang ating pong pagpapakuna.
Para sa balitang mahalaga at mapagkakatiwalaan, Radyo Pilipinas. Maiinit na balita at talakaya alamin sa mas pinaganda, mas pinalawak, mas Radyo Pilipinas 738 sa Metro Manila. Iba pa, the unfinished revolution.
Balik na naman tayo po at salamat kay Cushay or Cushay de la Torre sa $4.99 donation from Southern California. Thank you very much. And we'll check if we umabot na tayo ng total na 5,000 pesos para ma-withdraw po yan from Facebook o YouTube, no? YouTube. And kasi may limit pala yan, kailangan umabot ng 5,000. So thank you very much, Cushay, for your help. And we'll report to you where all these goes, no? So Kaado, yeah. So dito sa point ni Bongbong Marcos na too much politics. What's your analysis as a political?
Too much politics due to term limits and of government officials. Number two, unreliable, expensive power supplies are barriers to accelerated economic growth. At sabi po ni Bongbong Marcos, no? Kasi ang Pilipino, even deeper than this, talagang may problema, behavioral problem ang Pilipino. Dahil ang intensyon nitong term limit is precisely to prevent dynasties. Pero ang nangyari, pagkatapos ng tatay, 9 years, 3 plus 3 plus 3. sa local area, papalit naman yung asawa, 3 plus 3 plus 3. So 18 years na. Tapos yung anak, 3 plus 3 plus 3. So lalong na-entrench ang dynasty at it's not qualification-based, it's just family-based. And tignan natin mga, sometimes it goes for the good, sometimes, but most of the time it goes for the bad dahil nawawala na opportunity yung ibang tao. Hindi na tuloy nagpa-participate sa local governance ang mga tao. Dito sa Metro Manila, nandiyan ang mga abalos, mga binay, etc. Pero nakita naman natin sa Marikina, si Fernando, hindi naman forever din palabas-masok. So, depende rin talaga eh. Ang nangyayari, ayaw na makialam ng tao. Especially sa local governance. At pagka hindi na nakialam ang mga tao, and they start looking the other way, puro pagnanakaw naman ang dumarating. But definitely, on this end of these term limits that has given way for this dynasticism to even petrify itself, no? Lalong nag-solidify. And yung isang issue about the electric power na discuss na natin yan in the past, so I will just go with that opinion on the term limits.
Okay, very, very early, hindi pa natin napapag-usapan itong Nobel Peace Prize or Peace Prize. Marami ng reaksyon. Sabi ni Bangon Pinoy, may foreign ownership kasi ang Rappler. Maybe some US people own Rappler. That's why they are building up Ressa to build up credibility of Rappler. Exactly, that's what they're doing. Ano? Lalo-lalo na timing sa panahon ng eleksyon na yung binabata nila, Edehado. It really is quite an investment of the Western powers, no? To give this prize to such a weak as a straw man, such a straw man, such a weak figure na sira ka agad sila dito sa loob ng Pilipinas pag anunsyo nila nitong Nobel Prize na to, which we will go into. And sabi dito ni JB, congratulations Maria Ressa and CIA family. You truly represent the interests of globalists and rest in peace advocates. Ano, and si Hazel Ayers, one day Nobel na yan si Maria Ressa. Sa kabila, tingnan natin kung may early reaction. Okay, watching from Hong Kong si Pearly Alfonso, bumabati si Ryan Aquino, and talagang Nobel Peace advocates in putting, nagpapatawa talaga ang Nobel Peace advocates in putting Maria Ressa on top of that award. Ano yan, naglolokohan na lang sila from joke, Lux, Pinera. So napakaraming reaksyon na I think shows the level of intelligence of our public dito sa Pilipinas ay napakataas na po at hindi po basta nakakasindak na award maloloko sila. No? Let's take a review of the different views of this. No? Of course, talagang sa tingin ko, nabawasak kaagad yung Peace Prize para kay Ressa at nawasak din ng Nobel Peace Prize. Yung sinabi ni Frankie Sionel Jose na isang national artist, no? National artist for literature pa natin. And Ramon Magsaysay Memorial Awardee in Journalism, of course, nagsulat na ako na for a time in his life, he was really an operator of the CIA, which he did not deny. No? Yung kanyang inorganize na Congress for anong freedom yun, we will go back to that. No? Anyway, sabi niya, I will be damned for stating this. Sasabihin, mababatikos daw siya. Sa kanyang sasabihin, sour grapes, etc., because I was in the listing of the possible Nobel Literary Prize winners as published in international media. I have criticized Duterte, but not on press freedom. The Philippine press is alive and well, not because of Maria Ressa. No writer is in jail. There is no censorship. Duterte hasn't closed a single newspaper or radio station. The closure of ABS-CBN was made by Congress, which did not renew the ABS-CBN franchise. let's see, more reactions. No? Of course, napag-usapan natin, and sa totoo lang po, yung Nobel Peace Prize is the most politicized, most partisan for Western political interest na prize sa Nobel range of prizes. No? Doon sa sciences, you can argue technical yan, objective yan, hindi mo maloloko yan. Although may bias pa rin dyan, pinipili nila yung mga sariling scientists nila. Pero itong Peace Prize talaga, matagal na pong controversial po ito. For example, maraming nagtatanong sa mundo at sa India, siyempre, kung peace, sinong naiisip na pangalan? Mahatma Gandhi ng India. Pero 12 times, Ana, you posted on that. Can you give us a little background?
Yes po, 12 times siyang nominated. Ni isa hindi siya na-award. Tsaka ito pang nominated siya 12 times, hindi siya nakakuha ng Peace Prize. Kasi Peace Prize eh. He is the father of non-violent protests or activities if you go against something like colonial imperialism and stuff like that, no? But one more thing, no, lahat ng kanyang mga followers like ang Aung San Suu Kyi, Martin Luther King, those are all Nobel Peace Prize. Pero yung father of non-violence, hindi nakakuha. Bakit? Una, hindi siya Amerikano, hindi rin siya supported by the Americans or the Europeans. He was an anti-colonialist, no? He was very nationalist. So, hindi nila in-award, no? Pero, like Aung San Suu Kyi was very much backed up by Europeans. I know because I worked for Myanmar for what? Almost half of my professional life, no? Tawag nito, also backed up by the Americans, no? So in a way, it was one. But I'm not questioning Aung San Suu Kyi. What I'm saying is, she was really backed up, and even until now, she's still backed up, no? So ganun. Parang questionable. Maria Ressa is equal to Mahatma Gandhi, or who's more deserving, di ba?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
That's right. And of course, proud na proud itong Nobel Prize Award na nag-award nito. Yung isang na-award din is also a critic of President Putin sa Russia. So, nakikita natin yung interest nila. We'll go to Kaado after I present the other views. No? Si Max Blumenthal na mayroong gray zone na isang news and information site na popular sa buong mundo ngayon, sabi niya, as real Alex Ruby and I reported, Nobel Prize winner Maria Ressa and her Rappler.com are sponsored by billionaire surveillance capitalist Pierre Omidyar and an array of US intelligence cutouts. So, talagang ine-expose ni Max Blumenthal ang background po nitong Rappler at ni Maria Ressa. May intelligence covert operations background din yung mga yan. Operator talaga si Maria Ressa ng mga Amerikano. Nagpapanggap pa siyang Pilipino. And of course, from the Philippines, itong si Hilda, hindi ko kilala po ito. Nakuha ko lang sa Twitter. There are folks asking why some people can't be happy that Maria Ressa was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. It's because she won it by being dishonest. She claimed before an international audience that living in the Philippines is like living in a war zone. That was a big lie. Okay.
Lang ako rejoinder. Sino ba namang Pilipino ang papayag at maging masaya sa isang taong inawardan mo when you painted the country in a very bad light? Ako Pilipino, I will never be happy because at the expense of the country, at the expense of the Philippines, at the expense of Filipinos, you put us in a situation na para bang war freak ang mga tao dito at saka nasa war zone tayo? Napakapangit naman no? Tapos a-awardan ka for that?
Yeah, and
come on, no? Yes. Goodness.
So we'll go to Kaado after this last edition. No? The Daily Beast reported in 2017 pa ito. Dear Obama, it's time to return your Nobel Peace Prize. Here's why. Kasi nga, I think he got the Nobel Peace Prize 2011 ba? I forget right now, no? Sumunod, nagbomba na siya ng bomba ng Syria at ibang mga bansa, no? Anyway, a Swedish reporter asked President Obama, could you describe the dilemma of being a Nobel Prize winner and getting ready to attack Syria at that time? Now, of course, even earlier, 1973, the Nobel Peace Prize was given to
Kissinger.
Henry Kissinger and Le Docteau ng Vietnam, North Vietnam. kasi nagkaroon ng peace agreement na. Pero actually, the award for Kissinger was highly criticized, not the least because Kissinger had ordered a bombing raid of Hanoi while negotiating a ceasefire. At yung Vietnamese counterpart, si Le Duc Tho, declined. Hindi niya tinanggap yung peace prize. Declined his half of the award, and 2 members of the committee who had voted against Kissinger's election resigned in protest doon sa committee ng Nobel Peace Prize mismo. So with this, lahat pinagsama ko na dyan. Kaana, before I go to Kaado, anything to happen?
May sense of decency pa yung Vietnamese.
Yeah, talagang. So let's go to Kaado.
Well, actually, kailangan ng oposisyon ngayon ng pondo. Wala na. Magkano ba ito? $1 million to. So, 50 million pesos din kontribusyon sa kampanya ni Leni Robredo ito. And sino ba naman naniniwala dito? Ito si Sionil Jose. Ang ganda nung ginawa kong mema sa Facebook ko para sa kanya. Ang sabi ni Sionil Jose, who is Ramon Magsaysay Memorial Awardee in Journalism, let us look at Maria Ressa's credentials. The most important is she worked with CNN. I haven't read anything memorable by her. Wala naman talaga. No? Ano bang criterion para manalo to? Unang-una, Amerikano ho yan si Maria Ressa, suspetsa ko.
Hindi, Amerikano talaga.
Amerikano talaga. Tapos
Amerikano yun.
Dual citizenship.
Pangalawa, with all due respects, LGBT yan. No? So, sa mga award na mga peace na ganyan, malapit yan sa mga So, paano ba naman maglipat ng konting defense budget ang US Department of Defense para ipsaksak dyan sa Nobel Peace Prize na yan? Wala na . Sabi nga ni Kamento, pagdating sa science pa siguro. Pwede. Pero pagdating sa mga journalism na ganito, can you imagine? The closure of ABS-CBN was made by Congress, not the executive. May mga namamatay na journalist, pero dati naman may namamatay. Ako nga, nagtataka, buhay pa ito si Maria Ressa. Why? Because, Duterte was not serious with her. Okay. Else, he could have named her like he did si Sereno at saka si Leila de Lima, sabi ni Sionil Jose. So even Duterte, hindi pinag-aaksaya ng panahon ito. Itong kuto na ito.
Yeah.
So, this is just an unwelcome disturbance again in the midst of our political exercise, no? So, hindi ako masyado na-apektuhan talaga nito dahil wala naman talagang nothing to celebrate on.
Well, dito sa mga kapatid ko, yung nanay namin who's now 80 years old, bilib na bilib sa prize na to. Mabuti naman yung isang pamangkin namin nag-post nga nung ni Frankie Sionil Jose, so medyo natamay yung eldest namin. And so magandang impact. In other words, itong ibang nakakabata, nakikita yung mga commentaries natin ng Sionil Jose and so on. So nagbabago, and kung namuhunan ng mga Amerikano sa pagbibigay nitong Nobel Peace Prize, nag-backfire na naman ito. Tulad ng mga anti-BBM kampanya nila, nagba-backfire. So, all the better for the Filipino nation. Thank you pala kay kay Imelda Sangalang. Of course, this is not her first donation. $10 Canadian, equivalent to 405 pesos. Palagay ko, pwede na tayo mag-encash. Should reach 5,000 na. Check natin po sa YouTube ba yun o Facebook. Okay, we have to move on. It's now 8:50, 5 minutes before the news break. So, itong magandang balita lang, Philippines and China Inc. Cooperation Pact on Bamboo Research and Rice Technology, establishing the Philippines-China Joint Laboratory on Bamboo. research and technology promotion on advanced processing technology of bamboo resources, demonstration and showcasing of new technologies and products, and academic exchange, technical training, and capacity building services dito sa bamboo. I think this is a very good project kasi maraming magagawa sa bamboo. Money, yung pera natin may bamboo, fibers, siyempre building materials and so on. I'll just move on. Let's see. The next one, of course, is the next hot issue for this week. Duterte concerned over AUKUS nuclear submarine deal. We have reported this, but may latest development na talagang sampal ngayon kay Locsin at yung mga sumusuporta dito sa AUKUS, yung nuclear submarine na USS Connecticut may nabangga. 15 sailors po nila ang na-injure. Sabi ng Amerikano, hindi nila alam kung anong binangga ng submarine nila. Ang real issue, tulad ng sabi po ni Michael Chan Gotauco, paano kung nagkaroon ng nuclear accident dyan? Kasi nuclear submarine yan. Kung sumabog ang nuclear reactor, din nalaso ng buong South China Sea natin. Pero itong submarine deal, sinusuportahan ni Locsin at ng DFA. Siyempre, napipilitan ng DFA. Pero si Presidente Duterte nagsalita po na nag-aalala siya na yung arms race and so on. And of course, itong nuclear threat na sabi ni Locsin, wala namang weapons. It's still a nuclear threat. There is nuclear danger from it, and it's the fissionable material that is the enriched uranium for the fuel of the nuclear submarine is immediately convertible to nuclear weapon. Okay, we have how many minutes? 3 minutes before 8:55. Kaado, Maestra, who wants to start?
Opo, yung sa nabanggang submarine, hanggang ngayon hindi pa po klarado yung reports at kung saan sila bumangga. Actually, very dangerous po yung mga ganon. Kasi like, nuclear po yung submarine na yun sa pag-aari ng US. Na tinatanong nga ngayon kung kailangan ng investigation para tignan kung may nag-leak nga. Kasi it would cause damage to the marine resources ng Southeast Asia. Kasi South China Sea siya dito sa atin bumangga. So sinasabi nga, kailangan tignan at imbestigahan at mag-report pa ang US kung ano ba talaga ang nangyari at anong cause. Pero wala pa rin.
Kaana posible sa territorial waters ng China. Kaya tahimik ng China, ayaw ng China malaman ng Amerikano kung anong capacity nila sa monitoring. Pero ang Amerikano hindi din nagsasabi exactly kung nasaan. Kasi nagtataguan sila ng alam nila Let's go to Kaado.
Well, buti naman nauntog. Hindi naman talaga for submarine yung yung undersea topography ng South China Sea is not for submarines. It's not for submarines.
It's shallow kasi.
Mauntog sila riyan.
And so, ang tanong ko, Kaado, is bakit pa sila nauntog? It's supposed to be highly engineered, high-level engineering technology ng Amerika. Nabangga. So, talagang hindi lang po yun. May na-injure na 15, we don't know how bad it is. 2 daw serious laceration.
Hindi kaya naglilipat ng islands ang China sa ilalim ng dagat? Baka naglilipat Sobrang ng imagination ng mga yan.
Ang unang reaksyon ko nabangga ng USS Connecticut is a submarine drone ng China. Kaya ayaw umamin ng Amerikano kung anong bumangga sa kanila. Ayaw din magsalita ang China.
Unarmed siguro, Kamentong, unarmed.
Yeah, precisely.
Pero nananawagan ang China po ng kanilang foreign ministry. Sabi dito na China is gravely concerned of reported collision of US submarine with unknown object in the South China Sea. The US should clarify specific location, sailing intention, details of the incident, what the sub hit, whether there's nuclear leakage and damage on marine environment.
That's right.
So, nananawagan sila kasi parang walang report masyado. Sinabi lang kung ano ang ni-report lang is yung mga a little of casualties, pero wala naman daw namatay. Pero still, may casualty I mean, casualty na sense na nasugatan, may injuries So, ibig sabihin, mataas ang impact nun.
Yes.
Kasi malakas ang impact.
At saka damage daw. Damage daw sa marine. Well,
Oo,
we
so
have,
ibig sabihin,
yeah. We'll move
medyo
on to
malakas
the
ang
news
impact.
break, 5 minutes news break, and mamaya po, our surprise for all of you is our interview with Attorney Glenn Chong. Papa-update tayo kay Attorney Glenn Chong kung anong mga analysis niya sa situation. So, abangan po ninyo. So, let's go back to RP1 for the 5-minute news break and 5-minute station ID.
We know you're always on the go. Pero ang mahuli sa balita is always a big no-no. Kaya Radyo Pilipinas is here to keep you updated. Reliable news delivered to you as it happens. Para sure na wala kang mamimiss. Bookmark our website at www.radiopilipinas.ph. Follow us on Twitter at Radyo Pilipinas 1. Like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Radyo Pilipinas 1. Together, let's dismiss this information. Radyo Pilipinas, 738 AM.
Radyo Pilipinas, Network Balita.
Nakataas ngayon ang signal number 1 sa 9 na lugar sa Visayas at Mindanao dahil sa tropical storm Submarine. Tinaas ng pag-asa ang
Umabot sa 359 na biyahero ang agarang pinabalik ng mga otoridad sa mga pinagmulang lugar ng mga ito dahil sa kakulangan na walang may pakitang travel documents. Ayon kay City Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Officer Antoinette Anaban, ang naturang bilang ng mga pinabalik na travelers ay mula Oktubre 1 hanggang 3 lamang at karamihan ay pawang non-essential travels. Anya tinatayang nasa 120 individual ang average sa bawat araw ang pinapabalik sa kanilang pinanggalingang mga lugar sa pagsisimula ng Oktubre. Umabot din sa 486 na travelers ang hindi pinapasok sa Baguio City noong buwan ng Agosto at 1,786 noong Setyembre dahil sa kakulangan ng mga karampatang mga dokumento upang suportahan ang kanilang travel documents, habang ang iba ay wala talagang may pakitang dokumento at hindi rin naayon ang kanilang pagbiyahe sa syudad. Mula sa Baguio City, Jong Munar, Radyo Pilipinas.
Radyo Pilipinas. Radyo Pilipinas. Report.
Pumalo sa 309,351 ang kabuang bilang ng senior citizens sa Ilocos Region na bakunado kontra COVID-19. Sa datos ng DOH Center for Health Development 1, katumbas nito ang 57% ng target priority group A2 individuals na 542,102. Samantala, 51% sa mga ito o 276,666 ang fully vaccinated. Kung hahatiin, 202,031 ang naturukan ng first dose, 168,346 sa second dose habang 107,320 ang tumanggap ng single dose Janssen. Sa nasabing bilang, sa lalawigan ng pagkasinan, 89,400 senior citizens ang tumanggap ng first dose, 74,842 sa second dose at 64,854 ang nabakunahan ng Janssen. Kaugnay nito, sinabi ni Dr. Ruel Bobis, tagapagsalita ng CHD1, na patuloy ang maiting na tutok A2 strategy sa rehiyon lalo at isang naturang grupo sa pinakamadaling magkaroon ng severe at critical COVID-19. Ipinatutupad pa rin aniya ang A2+1 strategy kung saan marin ang bakunahan ng kasama ng magpapabakunang senior citizens sa kanilang nakatakdang schedule. Manipod Dayug, Pangasinan, Marimildred Estrada Coquia, Radyo Pilipinas.
Sa oras na ito,
Hanap mo ba ay balita pero hilig mo rin mag-sound trip? No need to switch. One tab is all you need. Music and entertainment. Saktong-sakto. Pati sa mga impormasyon at balitang napapanahon. pbs-fm.com. News and information, andyan ang Radyo Pilipinas para sa iyo. pbs-fm.com. One website, daming choices. Pexman, di ka nalilipat sa iba. Visit pbs-fm.com.
Prioridad pa rin ng ating pamahalaan na unahin ang kapakanan at kaligtasan ng bawat mamamayan sa gitna ng pandemyang ating nararanasan.
Patuloy ang aming pag-udyok sa mga ospital at LGU na siguraduhin sapat ang bilang ng mga COVID-19 beds at mechanical ventilator. Siguraduhin ang referral ng mga pasyente sa tamang pasilidad base naman sa kanilang mga simptomas. Magpatupad ng mga granular lockdown upang mabilis na mahanap ang mga kaso at kanilang mga close contact upang sila ay mai-quarantine, mai-isolate at matest sa lalong madaling panahon. At panghuli, panatilihin ang mahigpit na pagsunod sa ating minimum public health standards at palakasin ang ating pong pagbabakuna.
Para sa balitang mahalaga at mapagkakatiwalaan, Radyo Pilipinas.
And current affairs, top stories of the day, business, sports, music, and entertainment. Dadalhin sa inyo. Mas pinaganda, mas pinalawak, mas pinalakas. Radyo Pilipinas. Radyo Pilipinas. 738 sa Metro Manila. Ang maestro at iba pa. The Unfinished Revolution. Ano nga ba ang epekto ng mga hakbang ng pamahalaan kay Juan at Juana? Sa anong paraan mararamdaman ng simpleng mamamayan ang mga pinatutupad ng public policies panuntunan ng Pangulo? Yan ang tatalakayin, ipapaliwanag sa Ang Maestro. Iba pa, bahagi kayo ng usapan. Kung may tanong o kuro-kuro, ipaalam sa Ang Maestro at iba pa. The Unfinished Revolution.
Okay, we're back and andito na po ang ating sorpresa para sa ating audience. Sorpresa din para sa akin kasi nga napakatagal na po natin hindi nakikita itong ating resource person. Sa Facebook paminsan-minsan nakikita natin yung kanyang post. Pero here, personally, we will get the updates from kasama at maestrong Glenn Chong. Anong update niya para sa ating lahat. Maestro, Glenn Chong, we have, of course, with us si Maestra Ana Malindog-Uy. We'll say hello to you and si Kaado Tinawan. Maestra.
Yes, magandang umaga po, Attorney Glenson. Kumusta po kayo at maraming salamat sa pagpapaunlak po sa aming imbitasyon na makasama kayo sa programa namin ngayong umaga.
Kaado, baka you can shoot the first question. You do the honors.
Ayan si Attorney.
Kamentong, Ma'am Ana and Kaado, magandang umaga po sa inyo at sa mga nanonood po sa atin sa Facebook, social media, magandang umaga, magandang araw po sa inyo. At sa mga nakikinig po sa Radyo Pilipinas, magandang umaga po.
Yeah, si Kaado, naka-unmute ata yung kanyang microphone, no? Kaado?
Attorney, magandang umaga sa iyo.
Yes, boss. Good morning.
Matagal na tayo hindi nagkakape
Hindi naman tayo pwedeng magkape dahil sa COVID eh.
Oo nga eh. Anyway,
yes,
doon na muna tayo sa politika bago yung sustansya, ano ha? Ikaw ba ay nag-file for this election?
No, I did not file any certificate of candidacy for these elections.
Yeah, well, that's the sad part, but of course we understand that I think yung isa sa post mo, or at least your response to some of the questions is mahihirapan ka sa tingin mo with this Smartmatic still in place. But what is the status dito sa COMELEC natin ngayon, Attorney Glenn?
Actually, natapos na po sila ng kanilang filing ng certificate of candidacy, but meron pa namang substitution yan. What I would like to clarify, siguro, Kamentong. Mayor Sara Duterte. Because that's the hottest issue. That's the possibility.
Yes.
But before that, sagutin ko uli yung tanong ninyo, bakit hindi po ako nag-file. Unang-una, marami po silang nag-file, mabibigyan ng pangalan. And the possibility also for Smartmatic to cheat me again. I know that in 2019, pinawasan nila ng gusto yung boto ko. I'm not saying that I won, but hindi ako naniniwala sa 2.5 million na dineklara nilang aking boto because I know that I got far higher than that. They don't want na makita na maraming tao ang naniniwala sa akin dahil that will not be good for the health of the mafia, of the syndicate. So ang iniisip ko kung tatakbo ako, dadayain lang uli nila ako, sasabihin na naman nila, sinabi mo na may dayaan pero patuloy kang tumatakbo. So I have to stand by my position na dinadaya nga po nila yung halalan, binibenta po nila yung mga positions. I will not be running. I only ran in 2019 because at that time, parang curtain call ko na yun, Kaado, Kamentong, Ma'am Ana. It was my way of bidding goodbye. Sana, it was my way of bidding goodbye sa advocacy na ito because I have been fighting for, at that time, 9 years already, more than 9 years. And gusto ko nang tumigil. Ayoko namang tumigil ng bigla kasi sasabihin nila na binayaran nila ako kaya bigla ako tumigil. So my action would lend credibility to whatever accusation, malicious accusations they will make. So I ran because I wanted to challenge them publicly for one last time. Then nangyari yung kay Richard Santillan. Then pinatay ng mga pulis, tinorture po siya yung personal aid ko. So I decided I will keep fighting. But this time, not in the sense of running, but in the background. I know I can fight this syndicate, this mafia, far better, far more effective if I am not a candidate.
Maestra Ana, any follow-up question, Kaado? Before I go, I will go. Yeah, please, Maestra.
Ang tanong ko lang po is, anong basa po ni Attorney Glenson dito sa 2022 election? Do you think, Attorney, hindi magiging tulad ng 2016 na yung, of course, alam nating may nandaya and it was coursed through Smartmatic. Do you think this time around, given the pronouncement of the President na he wants really a clean election at nagbabala na siya na wag kayong ano dyan, or else I will deploy the military and things like that, no? He spoke about this in one of his talk to the nation. Parang he was actually addressing not only the people, but I think some sectors in our or segments of our society na, oops, I'm warning you. Parang ganun ang kanyang kanyang dating. Anong tingin niyo? Mayroong tingin nyo ba may mangangahas pa rin talaga na dayain? At yun
Actually, ma'am, I will be very frank with everyone. Lahat po sa inyo, I'll be very frank. I respect the President's position. Ang sinabi ni Pangulo is gusto niya ng malinis na halalan. But he was directing on, look at his statement. Sabi ng Pangulo, I will not hesitate to use the military to enforce clean elections. That's correct. But when you say military, it is more of an action directed against violence. Diba? Ito yung mga karahasan, intimidation, threats doon sa mga presinto. That's one aspect of cheating. Kasi nga po, yung mga politiko, dahil nga po sa unabated corruption, alam nila na yung ginastos nila sa eleksyon, pag nanalo sila, mababawi nila. So they will use every means to maim, kill, cheat, para lang makaupo sa pwesto. So, in that regard, the President is correct na he can deputize the military to enforce order, peaceful elections, clean elections in that regard na walang intimidation, walang threats, violence. But it does not address the issue of insidious machination. It does not address the issue of insidious cheating. Yung pandaraya na nasa loob ng makina. Even the military, even if you call in the military, even if it is the whole entire armed forces of the Philippines, hindi nila kayang tigilan ang isang insidious machination. Yung malawakang dayan gamit ang technology, gamit ang teknolohiya mismo ng election system. So as I see it, gagawin pa rin ng COMELEC in tandem with Smartmatic, yung pandaraya nila, malawakang pandaraya. And as a matter of fact, may maraming nag-aalok, naglalako ng mga dayaan. I was able to talk to one incumbent governor. Hindi ko lang po pwedeng pangalanan because I promised confidentiality. But this as much I can say na nag-offer na po sila ng dayaan. So, whatever the President said, hindi kaya ng yung mode of intervention na ipapatupad ng Pangulo, hindi yun sapat para mapigilan yung malawakang dayan. Kaya nga, kasi nga po, insidious. It's inside the machine, it's inside the system. Hindi natin kaya pigilan yan. But the best thing we can do is expose it when we find signs of cheating, itong pandaraya na ito. So, in a way, the President's call for clean, honest elections addresses only one half of the issue. Ito yung physical na nakikita po natin sa mga presinto, sa mga polling center na kukunin yung balota, papalitan yung resulta, which actually does not happen much these days. Yung vote buying, ito yung mga issues na na-address ng sinabi ng Pangulo. But yung pandaraya mismo ng mafia na COMELEC at Smartmatic, it does not address.
Okay, mayroon lang ilang mga reaksyon. Hanapin ko po yung isa muna. Si Florence Ecnerol, agree po ako sa iyo, Attorney Glenchong. Hindi yung dayaan sa eleksyon ng COMELEC at Smartmatic ang tinutukoy ni Pangulo. And dito sa kabila, kung nilagay ni PRRD si Attorney Glenchong sa COMELEC, sayang daw, hindi nilagay si Glenchong sa COMELEC, no? Okay, and tama si Attorney Glenchong, at saka pagkatapos ng elections, walang power si Digong, tapos na siya, dapat uupo. Well, don't understand that. Maybe you can add some clarification. Kasi Arnulfo Imperido. Let's get back to Kaado. Kaado, you have any question for Attorney Glenchong?
Attorney, ano ang senaryo ngayon as we approach the election? Nandiyan pa rin ang Smartmatic. Tapos there was a certain award for supplies diyan sa grupo ni Dennis Uy. How do all of this interplay? Wala na yung hybrid na pinopropose ni Jaime Marcos. Wala na yan, di ba? So, as we move forward towards the election, Ano ma-expect ng mga botante dyan sa COMELEC?
Okay, unang-una, yung hybrid election system ni Tito Sen at ni Senator Amy Marcos, and even those in the House of Representatives. May 8 version doon sa House of Representatives, isa po sa Senado. Ni isa, wala pong lumusot. Wala pong naging batas. I think it's lack of political will on the part of the senators and the congressmen. Siyempre, I'm being honest and frank about this. Walang congressman or senador na magpapasa ng batas na kung sila ay sasabak din sa eleksyon na ito sa 2022. So matatakot po sila na pag-initan at ririsbakan ng mafia. They know the capability of COMELEC and Smartmatic. In fact, yung pagkapalpak ng pagpasa ng batas, so the failure to pass the law, na walang congressman, walang senador na nakikipaglaban talaga para sa hybrid election system, is a recognition of their fear. It is a recognition na takot sila sa mafia na COMELEC at Smartmatic. Dahil kung gagawin mo yan, pag-iinitin ka, tatalunin ka talaga sa susunod na election, and they see no solution yet in sight. Now, with respect to sinasabi po ninyong anong expectations natin or what can we expect in these coming elections, what I really see is the possibility of large-scale disenfranchisement, targeted disenfranchisement ng mga botante. Kasi po, noong 2016, bago pa lang yung mga makina, yung mga vote cheating machines, bago yun 2016, yung binayaran natin ng almost 10 billion pesos. About 300 nag-malfunction sa araw ng halalan. So 300 out of 95,000, 92,000, almost 3%. So out of 92,000, no, not almost, more than 3%, 300 plus ang nag-malfunction on the day of the elections. In 2019, ginamit ulit natin yung mga makina na yon. Sumipa yung malfunctioning machines, sumipa siya to 3,600 yata yun eh. So 10 times ang paglobo ng mga makina na nag-malfunction sa araw ng halalan in 2019. Now, normally, based on experience, 2 eleksyon lang ang makina nila. So dapat 2016, 2019, pag 2022, malaki ang chance na hindi na dapat gagamitin based on their experience in 2010, 2013, 2016, and 2019. So 2 eleksyon lang. So this will be the 3rd election na same machine, parehong machine pa rin ang ginagamit. So kung sumipa yun from 300 malfunctioning machines to 3,600 mahigit in 2019, in 2022, we might expect 5 times to 10 times more ang masisira. Kasi nga, pangatlong gamit na to. Normally, dalawang gamitan lang yan. So this is the 3rd time. Kaya nga po, pinakumpuni, pina-repair, pina-refurbish ng COMELEC ang kanilang mga makina. Nagbili po sila ng 250,000 cleaning sheets because they realize na magkakaroon ng maraming problema. So, on the day of the elections, we would expect na marami sa mga makinang ito ang mag-malfunction. So, ang mangyari because COVID ang circumstances ng election, social distancing, kukunti lang ang botante na makakapasok at any one time para bumoto. So, marami po siguro there's a big possibility, marami ang atras at hindi bumoto. So, the result is disenfranchisement ng mga botante. Now, in the hands of the COMELEC and Smartmatic Mafia, pwedeng gamitin yun for targeted disenfranchisement. Ipapadala yung mga makina na alam nilang masisira doon sa mga presinto nang gusto nilang tatalunin sa eleksyon. That's one way to cheat the elections. Okay? So, alam nila, this set of machines, for example, 10,000 makina, alam nila masisira yan, or 20,000 na makina, alam nilang masisira yan. Yan ang ipapadala doon sa mga presinto ng kandidatong gusto nilang mabawasan ng boto. Kasi marami sa mga botante hindi boboto dahil sira yung makina, ayaw nang maglinya, under the heat of the sun, mabagal ang election process, voting process. So that's one way na nakikita ko. That's one possibility, real possibility, targeted disenfranchisement. And with your question na how does F2 ba yung logistics company na binigyan ng kontrata? They can use that kasi sila yung magdi-deploy Sila yung magdi-deploy ng mga makina. So kumbaga, seamless yung seamless yung yung machination na yan geared towards targeted disenfranchisement.
So, Attorney Glenn Chong has really thought it out and analyzed, no, yung mga hindi mahalata na panloloko na gagawin ng natin. The reactions here from Jimmy Constantino. Developed economies, including Germany, have stopped using automated elections as it is fraught with insidious machinations, quoting Lodi, idol Attorney Glenn Chong. So maraming nagsusubaybay sa mga sinasabi niyo, no, Attorney Glenn Chong.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let me just ask this question and I'll get back to you. Given all these problems with elections, isang aming pinag-usapan kanina yung sinabi ni BBM na sobrang maraming election because of term limits and so on. And my position has been, let's move to parliamentary para matanggal na po yung senatorial elections, mabawasan at least one layer of elections, and maybe even go back to the one period of President Marcos, where the local officials up to at least the barangay level were just appointed. No? Na sobra talagang maraming eleksyon. And of course, lalong lumalaya nung pinasok pa nila Angara, nila Dinon, the old Angara, na pwedeng tumakbo yung incumbent without giving up his seat. Wala na talagang nangyayari sa trabaho nila. Di ba? And then the frequency, every 3 years, may election tayo. Samantalang the most successful economies in ASEAN like Vietnam, halos walang eleksyon. Very, very limited kasi nakaka-focus sila. Attorney, what's your reaction?
Actually, isa-isahin natin komento. With respect to yung sinabi po ninyo na mabawasan yung frequency ng eleksyon natin, kung maaari maging appointed yung mga some public officials. I would agree in that regard na for example yung mga barangay officials, kung maaari they should be appointed na lang so that we can take off one election out of the series, no? Yung frequencies na palagi tayong may election. In that regard, pwede po ang mga barangay officials appointed or perhaps the sangguniang bayan, the council, ang i-elect lang mayor at vice mayor. But hindi po pwede na appointed lang. Actually, what I have in mind as a way of political reform, what I had in mind is that it should be deliverable based. So, pag in-appoint ka, dapat may set of deliverables ang appointee. For example, pwede nga mayor din i-appoint yung mayor for a specific term like 3 years. Tapos, together with that, nandun yung internal revenue allotment mo. Tapos, meron kang deliverables. For example, how many public housing units can you produce in a year? How many jobs can you provide? Ilan ang trabaho maibibigay mo sa mga kababayan mo? Ilang pabahay ang mapapatayo mo? Or anong public infrastructure projects ang dapat mong i-deliver? So pag na-deliver mo yan, 75%, you are eligible for another appointment. If you fall below that, maybe 1 or twice, pag after strike 2, hindi mo natupad, then dapat palitan ka. So hindi po yung i-appoint lang natin na wala man ng set of deliverables. Dapat yung set of deliverables, yan yung commitment niya sa taong bayan na ito yung i-deliver ko sa inyo pag in-appoint niyo ako. So that's my position, Kamentong Kado, Ma'am Ana, with regards to appointment. Kung i-appoint na natin. Now, with regards to parliamentary system naman, ang concern ko kasi in a parliamentary system, and this has always been my serious concern, is that pag nag-add po tayo ng another layer of government bureaucracy, that is the state government doon sa mga states, no?
Yan yung federal. I'm not proposing federal.
It will add another layer of taxation, another taxing authority. So maawa na po tayo sa ating mga kababayan na we are being taxed and then hindi naman bumabalik sa taong bayan ang true measure ng kanilang tax na binayad. So might as well maintain the time for the time being na ganito. Pero pwede naman tayong mag-parliamentary without being federal.
That's right. I
So,
agree with that. That's my
okay.
point.
Pwede tayong mag-parliamentary without a federal system of government. But ang ano ko naman, with the quality of politicians we have, horse dealing, horse trading, I don't know kung ano ang mukha ng national government. Kung any one of them can become the prime minister and will wield the power. Kasi alam mo naman, sa House of Representatives, sa Senado, give and take yan eh. Horse dealing yan, horse trading yan. So, the more ang isang leader will have more political entanglements, yung mga commitments niya sa politikong ito, commitment niya sa politikong yan, the lesser effective he will become in dealing with the problems of the country. So those are the things I see. Maybe perhaps we can have one house of one legislature instead of two in order to economize. Kasi dalawa tayo ngayon, House of Representatives and the Senate. So pwede naman tayong isang house lang, isang legislature like the time of President Marcos.
That's right.
Hindi rin batasang pambansa and hindi rin batasang pambansa.
So yung presidential parliamentary na model ni Marcos o ng French model, yun ang mas balanse. Only one, it's a unicameral house, so nabawasan mong eleksyon. Pero merong central power pa, and then the prime minister can be changed as the debates in the parliament go. Let's go to Ana and Ado if they have questions.
Sa akin po, nag-agree ako dun sa pwedeng maging parliament, hindi pa federal. Kasi yung federal medyo may reservations din ako. Pero changing the system from a presidential to a parliamentary system following a French model, I think would fit the Philippines to a certain extent. At saka mag-economize tayo tanggal tayo ng isang layer na wala namang ginagawa masyado yung Senado.
To make it more efficient for government to run more efficiently, kailangan tayong magbawas ng layer of mga ano ba yun? Redundancies. Mga redundancies.
Good term. That's a good term for it.
Opo. Pero balik ako doon sa election, no? Kasi I understand nga na kahit itong election na to, there's really these possibilities na magkaroon ka ng mga fraud and pandaraya. So in terms of solution, if you will suggest, Attorney Glenn Chong, do you think what would be the possible safety nets that the government, especially the president, should implement? No, of course, malapit na election, we can only do so much. But what do you think are the safety nets that the government should put forward to safeguard a bit, no, the possible na mga mga pandaraya na maaaring i-course through sa Smartmatic, which the machine itself? Or do you think as well that IT experts should be deployed IT expert coming from the military or from the government side na nandun sa COMELEC to man these machines on even other parts? So yun yung tingin ko kasi right now andyan na siya ang hirap, hindi mo alam kung pwedeng tapon mo yung mga machines na yan at palitan, no? Kasi ang election mo around 6 months to 7 months to go na, tapos campaign period na ngayon, tapos na COC.
Okay.
So yung mga ganun po na mga possible safety nets po na pwedeng i-impose ng government at the moment.
Attorney Glenn?
Actually, Ma'am Ana, you have a good point. Pwede naman na the IT experts of the military can be deployed. The IT experts of the military can be deployed every step of the voting process and canvassing. For example, ito pag natapos po yung makina na mag-produce ng resulta, itatransmit po niya yan doon sa Municipal Board of Canvassers at doon sa COMELEC Central Server and then sa Transparency Server. So 3 transmissions po yan. Ang problema, hindi naman siya dumidiretso talaga. Mula sa makina, hindi siya diretsong pumapasok sa Municipal Board of Canvassers, sa COMELEC Central Server at sa Transparency Server. Kasi dumadaan pa po siya doon sa Meet Me Room. So ito yung server that collates all the results before it is published. So, kung nagbato na ng resulta, may harang po siya sa gitna. So dito muna kayo. Ang tawag po doon, meet me room. Kasi po, 3 po ang telcos natin. We have Smart, we have Globe, and then meron pa isa, plus yung satellite communication sa mga areas na wala pong signal ng GSM.
Attorney Glenn Chong, it's 9:30. Can we extend another 5 minutes for after the break? Kasi hindi pa natin nabubuo. Magbe-break tayo. It's now 9:30, 39 seconds. So let's get back to the studio.
Tuloy-tuloy sa rangkada ang Res Bakuna.
October, 6 million doses na po ang ating administer, with 24.5 million Filipinos already received the first dose, and almost 22 million are now fully vaccinated.
Supply ng COVID-19 vaccine na dumarating ay mataas din.
I'm very confident na yung 100 million doses target this October is still on track.
Kaya pag turn nyo na, magpabakuna na. Isang mensahe mula sa Philippine Broadcasting Service at Radyo Pilipinas.
Sa lahat ng mga magigiting nating mga kababayan sa frontline.
Check po ng inyong ID.
Ilang malalim po. Lagi po tayong maghuhugas ng kamay, ha?
Check po tayo ng temperature.
Kayo ang aming mga bayani. Maraming salamat po sa inyong serbisyo. Lahat kami ay saludo at sumusuporta sa inyo.
Isang paalala mula sa Philippine Broadcasting Service. #ID natin, ang ID ng Pilipino. Gusto mo ba ng valid ID na libre, digital at pwedeng gamitin for life? Kung oo, ang PhilID ay para sa iyo. Magparehistro na ngayon sa PhilSys o Philippine Identification System. Para simulan ang inyong registration, bisitahin ang PhilSys website sa register.philsys.gov.ph. #ID natin, ang ID ng Pilipino. Isang paalala mula sa PSA, PCOO at ng Philippine Broadcasting Service.
Mga isyong pinag-uusapan. Inuman ang personalidad na dapat pakinggan bawat panig ng balita. Ihahain at walang pagtatakpan. Kasama si Alex Santos.
Malima po investigasyon, mga mayang tao tayo yung variant. Pero upang utos ang ating lumalaban sa ating
Monday to Friday, 1 to 2 ng hapon dito sa Radyo Pilipinas, 738 AM.
Hanga-hanga ang pamamaraan ng mga lokal na pamahalaan para COVID vaccine ay maibigay sa bawat mamamayan.
Narito si Palawan Governor Jose Chavez Alvarez.
Meron talagang mahirap abutin yung mga kapatid natin na katutubo katira doon sa hinterlands. Ayun ay kailangang puntahan at i-explain muna at dalhan natin sila ng mga kailangan nila upang sila ay sumama sa pagbabakuna.
Maging protektado. Magpapakuna tayong lahat. Isang mensahe mula sa Radyo Pilipinas.
Mahalagang isyu, maiinit na balita at talakaya alamin sa mas pinaganda, mas sinalawa, mas Radyo Pilipinas, 738 sa Metro Manila. Electoral at iba pa, the unfinished revolution.
From Rain Gruliemans, Philippines must do away with nationally elected positions. These require a lot of campaign funding, which is the cause of corruption and regulatory capture. Very good point.
And then dito po, finance is organized and secure in the cloud.
Okay, medyo may pumasok na iba. At dito naman po, from Benji Aguilar, is there, to Attorney Glenn Chong, is there a possibility na mag-declare ng failure elections kung nagkaroon ng dayaan? So let's get back to Attorney Glenn.
Kamento, let me go back kanina sa sagot ko.
Yes.
So, yung resulta, hindi siya diretsong pumapasok sa transparency server at hindi agad nakikita ng taong bayan yun. Kasi dumadaan pa po siya sa Meet Me Room. In previous elections, the Meet Me Room is controlled by Smartmatic. Wala pong COMELEC doon na tao. walang COMELEC commissioner doon, walang COMELEC personnel doon. It's purely Venezuelans and foreigners. So, speaking of yung military intervention, pwede po nating lagyan ng military personnel na may kakayahan sa computer systems, kasi meron din naman tayong mga ganun sa ating military ngayon. They can monitor the system from inside mismo, sa loob mismo ng meet me room, kung saan man nila ilalagay yun. At sa data center din nila, lagyan ng military personnel doon. I mean, every step of the way na may kinalaman sa transmission or electronic means involving the results, dapat merong nagbabantay na military personnel. Siguro pwedeng magamit natin yan, magawa natin. But I'm sure hindi papayag ang COMELEC dyan, and Smartmatic. And going sa kaninang sinabi, may comment doon na ano nga ba yung comment?
Failure of election?
Failure of elections. No, the COMELEC will never declare failure of elections because sila ang matatamaan nun. It's a black eye for them. So whatever happens, even if there's cheating, they will never declare failure of elections. Kasi sila naman ang nandaraya eh.
Okay.
Pahabol akong tanong, comment. Very
Go ahead.
important lang. Nakikita natin ang COMELEC right now, no? For several years na po, Attorney Glenn, na paraging may problema, especially during election time, no? Ilang beses na to, andyan pa yung Smartmatic. Sa susunod na administrasyon po, kasi nandun na tayo eh, papunta na tayo sa next administration, patapos na ang administrasyon ni Pangulong Duterte. What do you think are the reforms that needs to be implemented in COMELEC? Do you think it really has to be cleaned up in terms of, mass, parang cultural revolution ang dating na alam mo yun, mass resignation, mass tapos palitan mo yung tao, implement mo yung ganong klaseng drastic measure to ensure na yung COMELEC maging responsive dun sa kanyang mission of really having a clean election na walang bahid ng pandaraya and all of this. Kasi isa yan sa mga institusyon I think na kailangan ng reform, matagal na. So sa susunod na election, crucial reforms, sa susunod na election na administrasyon po, dapat tutukan yan ng magiging presidente natin.
That's why nga, Ma'am Ana, Kamintong, and Kaado, mga kababayan, I throw behind my support to one particular candidate who I believe can deliver that. Doon talaga ako susuporta dahil alam ko na this candidate can deliver that because he has a track record. Pareho naman kami ng kalagayan. Ako nauna in 2010, siya na sumunod in 2016, na biktima rin itong syndical ito. So it would be in his best interest and for his legacy, for the country, na malinis talaga because we need crucial reforms. Now, more than the pagpalit ng tao, we have to understand na kultura talaga ito ng COMELEC. They have been there for a long time. They have been cheating our elections for a long time. They were manipulating the results dati. Mano-mano yung manipulasyon. Biglang papalitan yung election officer, tatapon sa kabila, papalitan ng isa, pabor sa kandidato. Maraming ganun. Now, what I see is, hindi naman mabigat o malaki ang kailangang solusyon. What I would really push for is the hybrid election system. Kapag pinasa po natin yung hybrid election system at maging batas, wala na pong choice ang COMELEC at Smartmatic. So, in a way, mga 75% of the problem is solved with a hybrid election system because it's, self-regulating siya, self-checking. So, kung ano man ang mano-manong resulta, machi-check mo doon sa transmitted election results. Ang transmitted electronic results can be verified with the manually counted results. So about 75%. But at pag sinunod yung I wrote a batas, a bill. Doon ginawa kong mas mahigpit yung batas sa COMELEC. Like for example, pag hiningi sa inyo, ilagay ko doon within yung electronic results should be published in the website ng COMELEC simultaneously real time. Pag hindi nyo ginawa yan, that's prima facie case of fraud. So, the burden of proof is tinapon mo kagad dyan, binaligtad mo kagad sa COMELEC. Pag hindi nyo pinakita yan, o hindi nyo i-maintain yung result for 3 years, prima facie evidence of fraud yan. So, marami akong ganun sa batas na sinulat ko. Marami mga prima facie cases of fraud para ma-restrict mo ang COMELEC. Mawala sila ng absolute discretion kasi dito sila lumulusot sa absolute discretion nila na sila lang ang pwedeng mag-decide. Pero pag kinural mo sila, binakod mo sila, kinorner mo sila, they cannot anymore act. So, to cheat the election. So, yun ang ginawa ko. When I wrote that bill, marami akong instances of prima facie evidence of fraud para hindi na sila makagalaw. And then, we have to impose the maximum penalty sa mga mandaraya sa eleksyon. Both ang mga mandaraya at nagpapatakbo ng pandaraya. So, address to COMELEC and its supplier and also the politicians. So, I think that would cover 100% of the reforms you would need. And pag naging malinis ang election system natin,
alam mo,
yes.
Attorney Glenchong, I'm an advocate of RedGov, but when I listen to you, bumabalik ang aking tiwala na posible ang
Yes, sir.
maayos na eleksyon. No?
Yes, sir. All that we need, and I guarantee the people na pag binasa natin yung hybrid election system, and then we limit the discretion of COMELEC officials na hindi mo pwedeng gawin yan kasi fraud yan. For example, ito, bigyan ko ng example. Yung pagprinta ng balota, dati ang nagbabantay ang asawa ng executive director. Ang executive director ng COMELEC ang nag-bid out ng mga balota at ang asawa niya na director din ng COMELEC ang nagbabantay doon sa National Printing Office. Hindi po pwede yun. Kasi yung kutsabahan, madaling mangyari yung kutsabahan kasi mag-asawa kayo eh. O di ba? So when you restrict them na hindi na sila makagalaw dahil ang penalty ay mabigat. So wala silang choice kundi give the people clean, honest elections.
Okay. Well, Kado,
So, ibig sabihin po sa susunod na administrasyon, yung hybrid election bill has to be certified urgent.
Yes, and that's what I would like to work out. Kung maniwala po ang tao sa akin at ang ikinakampanya ko kung kandidato ay pagkakatiwala nila at manalo, that's what I would like to ask. Because that's what I asked in the first place. Ako'y susuporta pag ito'y naipasa.
Okay. Let's go to Kado.
Wala akong masyadong imek kasi ang posisyon ko is abolish the COMELEC. Lagyan ng mekanismo sa governance, no, mga local governments, empower them. Kasi sa Amerika wala namang COMELEC eh. Now, dito, constitutional body pa. Very powerful. Noong 2010, anong ginawa nila sa automated election systems law? Yung lahat ng safeguards, kinulaps nila unilaterally. So, the COMELEC is even above Congress, above the president in this country. It's too powerful. And it's a syndicate. Ako naniniwala, incurable yan. Kumari lang, sunugin lahat ng mga yan, burn them at stake. And then create another law that will empower local governments to have a accountability clause somewhere, accountable mechanism somewhere, kung saan dyan boboto ang mga tao. Ganun lang yan eh. Kasi pag kinala mo yan sa computer, basta ayos yung bilang sa local governments, ayos yan all the way. At basta may paper trail sa baba, madaling solusyonan, may mandayaman. But of course, I'm not as optimistic as Senator Glenn Chong, my favorite senator that has never been elected. But
thank you.
Let's give it, I'm willing to give it a last crack under President Bongbong Marcos. Ayaw mo pa sa kasi sabihin eh. So, yan ang aking ano dyan. Kaya ang tiwala ko dito kay Bongbong, talagang maglilinis to. Kaya ayaw ng status quo, ayaw ng establishment, ayaw ng mayayaman, ayaw ng mga Amerikano, talagang maglilinis ito. Dahil ibabalik nito ang new normal doon sa paradigms of the past where excellence is rewarded and incompetence is punished. Yan ang ano.
Okay. Kado, let's give the rest of the 2-3 minutes before 9.
To our guest.
To our guest, no, to wrap up all his reactions and response. Marami ditong mabuhay ka Glenn Chong, sabi ni
Thank you.
Anacela Watson, and so on. I'll just read them a little later. Let's give more time to Attorney Glenn Chong. Attorney, please go ahead.
Kaado, thank you so much. Actually, kamentong kaana, mga kababayan. Tama naman po si Kaado na yung mga tao dapat palitan. But what I was thinking is, in the absence of cases that are filed against them, na hindi natin sila mapatanggal na bigla-bigla unless you will have a revolutionary government. But that's another story. So ang sa akin po, yung solusyon ko po na binibigay po sa inyo is limited, constrained doon lang sa existing system. Pero pag mayroong revolutionary government, then everything is thrown out the window. So pwedeng malinis yan, clean slate po yan. At tama si Kaado, I'm campaigning for Bongbong Marcos because I believe in him. Now, yung sinabi ni Kaado kanina, Ma'am Ana, Kaado, at Kamento, mga kababayan, in 2010, binaliwala nila lahat ng safeguards. The most important safeguard there is the digital signature. 12 years na po I have been preaching na wala ngang digital signature lahat ng election results. Nakita ko po yan doon sa distrito ni Tito Luis, Congressman Luis Villafuerte, sa protesta niya laban sa tauhan ni Aling Lenny Robredo, na sa halip na 3 BEI ang pipirma, isa lang ang pumipirma. Chairman lang palagi. Dapat 3 yun, chairman, member, at saka poll clerk. So, hindi po sinunod yung batas. And in 2010 and 2013, may specific instruction ng COMELEC. Sabi ng COMELEC sa kanilang general instructions to the Board of Election Inspectors, magtatanong ang makina, do you want to digitally sign the election results? Ang sabi ng COMELEC, press no. The machine will confirm, are you sure you do not want to sign digitally the election results? Ang sabi ng COMELEC, press yes. So in other words, wala nga talagang digital signature. Then lately, noong May lang, nitong taon na ito, inadmit ng COMELEC. Sabi ng COMELEC, for the first time, magkakaroon na tayo ng digital signature. So ibig sabihin, it was a vindication for me on my part na tama yung sinasabi ko since 2010 until now. Walang digital signature lahat ng election returns natin. Now, ngayon, sa 2022, magkakaroon daw tayo ng digital signature. Ito po yung digital signature that's accredited with the DICT. Okay. So, ang totoong digital signature, personal identification number yan, parang ATM pin yan ng teacher. So, ito yung private key niya. May kaakibat siyang key doon sa DICT, PKI. Ito po yung public key. Dapat mag-match yung dalawa para maging digital signature, para magkaroon ng handshake. So, if the teacher will key in her PIN number, it will be verified with the PKI infrastructure. And kapag nag-match yun, may handshake, that is your digital signature. So ngayon, it appears na, okay, may ano na tayo, may digital signature na. But wait, ito naman gustong gawin ng COMELEC. Sa halip na si teacher ay mag-type ng PIN niya, na siya lang ang nakakaalam, kailangan i-submit ng teacher ang kanyang PIN sa Smartmatic para ipasok doon sa iButton. Oo, para ipasok doon sa iButton, para pagdating ng eleksyon, ang iButton lang ang kanyang ilalagay doon sa Smartmatic. So do you see yung katarantaduhan, kalokohan ng COMELEC at Smartmatic? Kunyari, meron ng digital signature. Dapat, ang teacher will have to type in the PIN. Tulad sa ATM, di ba? Tayo ang nagta-type in ng ating PIN. So ang mangyayari nito sa COMELEC ngayon, i-submit yung PIN ng teacher sa kanila para ipasok doon, i-encode doon sa iButton. At yung iButton, yun ang ilalagay sa receptacle, yun na yung signature. Siyempre, pag nalaman ng COMELEC at Smartmatic ang PIN ng teacher, they can always make fake results using the PIN na binigay sa kanila ng teacher.
Okay. Fantastic. And anyway,
circumventing the no?
Nangyayari yan kasi pinabayaan natin ang COMELEC over the years to count the ballots ahead of the election.
Yeah, but at the same time, may connivance yan sa ating mga politiko na naka-luklok, and so they use it to their advantage. But anyway, it's now 9:49. We have 5 minutes before the end of the discussion. We have a few more topics. So, maraming salamat, Kagren Chong.
Thank you, sir.
What is your final 1 minute wisdom for our audience and for the nation?
Mga kababayan, ang eleksyon po natin ay isang mahalagang bagay. Hindi po natin hayaan ang mga politiko paglaruan ang sistema. Like ngayon, yung mga substitution, we don't agree to that. Kung gusto po nila tumakbo po sila. Huwag po mag-substitute na mag-substitute kasi parang pinaglalaruan. Hindi ko po lang po masabi dito ngayon because we have not much time. But please stay tuned doon po sa aking Facebook page at para maipaabot ko po sa inyo at sa mga politiko kung paano po natin bantayan ang ating boto. Sagrado po ang ating boto. Our vote now means our future.
Sabi ni Rosette Emily, Attorney Glenn Chong is my future senator. Wish ko na ma-appoint siya sa COMELEC. And there are many other comments here, but we have time only for that. I wonder if I can habol one here. Salamat, Attorney Glenn Chong.
Na discussion natin tungkol sa eleksyon at sa COMELEC at Smartmatic. Mga kabansa, maging vigilant po tayo sa darating na eleksyon. Kung marunong po tayo sa IT, di magpresenta na po tayo para sa ikabubuti po ng ating bayan. Huwag po natin hayaan na madaya po tayo, no? At sana nga po ay magkaroon na tayo ng, I'm sure magkakaroon ng dayaan yan. Pero what I'm saying is at least makripol lang na konti. Yun naman ang importante.
Maestra, hindi pa tapos ang programa. Papaalam na tayo.
Opo. Maraming salamat ka, Glenn. So,
Thank you, ma'am.
sa inyo, sa susunod po.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, and have a good day. Take care of yourself for all the lang.
Thank you.
Okay, at now we'll discuss some maybe 4 items lang po sa international developments na mahalaga po sa bayan. Dito sa relasyon naman ng mga superpowers, gumaganda naman ang prospects, dahil dalawang usapan ang importante. Una-una, yung US Trade Representative si Madam Tai, Catherine Tai, who is Chinese American, very curious, and China's Liu He, ay pinag-uusapan po in both dito, but si Jake Sullivan ng US at si Yang Jiechi ng China ay nag-usap tungkol sa political relations ng dalawang bansa. And of course, nais nating iulat na yung sinasabi ng maraming media na mga threatening air flights ng Chinese warplanes sa Taiwan ADZ, Aerial Defense Identification Zone, nasa harap po ng screen po ninyo ngayon. Let me check kung nasa harap na ng screen po ninyo. Yung Aerial Defense Identification Zone po kasi ng Taiwan, nagawa po ng Amerikano, sobrang malawak. Pati ang People's Republic of China, yung lupa ng People's Republic of China, sinasakop po niyan. But yan po, nandoon sa screen po ninyo, actual na iniiwasan ng China, yung actual ADIZ ng Taiwan at doon lang sa gilid sila lumilipad. Bilang mensahe din na anytime they can invade but they are not doing it yet dahil wala pang deklarasyon ng independence ang Taiwan. But of course, ang Estados Unidos, hindi po naulat, ngayon lang lumalabas, yung US Special Forces ay nasa Taiwan na po, nagtitraining ng Taiwanese forces. But actually, the latest development is mayroong Chinese general retired na nananawagan sa Taiwan military na umalsa pag magdeklara ang Taiwanese government ng independence. So there will be, and I expect that to happen. Marami talagang very nationalistic Taiwanese military forces na hindi po papayag na mahiwalay ang Taiwan sa China. Okay, we have our last minute, Kaado and Maestra. Kaado, Maestra, please go ahead.
Sana nga po magtuloy-tuloy ang magandang relasyon ng dalawang superpowers kasi it means na masisecure ang mundo. From any possible.
Ang region natin,
ating region natin po.
Salamat kay Miss Lilia Papa for 249 pesos donation. And Kaado,
Well, tayo po mga taga-ASEAN, proteksyonan natin ang ating teritoryo dahil hindi po tayo titigilan ng mga Westerners hanggat hindi nila nagsasakote itong ating area at itong ating region. So let's be vigilant just as we protect our votes, we protect our sovereignty. Salamat po.
Okay, well, we have run out of time. We're actually 1.5 minute over time. So maraming salamat sa RP1 at tayo po ay magkikita-kita ulit sa mga ibang programa po natin. Have a good day and please take care the whole week ahead of us.